Jayceon Taylor, born November 29th, 1979, better known by his stage name, The Game, or simply Game, is an American rapper and actor. He's best known as a rapper in the West Coast hip-hop scene and for being one of Dr. Dre's signees under Aftermath. Born in Compton, California, he initially released a series of mixtapes upon being discovered by his fellow West Coast rapper, JT the Bigger Figure. After releasing his debut independent album, Untold Story, in 2004, he was eventually discovered by Dr. Dre and signed to his Aftermath label. He rose to fame in 2005 with the success of major label debut album, The Documentary, and found continued success with 2006 follow-up Dr. Dre's Advocate. The Recording Industries Association of America certified the documentary double platinum in March 2005. Rapper Jayceon Taylor, better known as The Game, starred in VH1's television show called She's Got Game, an imitation of a long-running reality dating series, The Bachelor. While filming in Chicago in 2015, Taylor took contestant Priscilla Rainey on an off-camera date at a suburban sports bar. There, Taylor sexually assaulted her by repeatedly lifting up her skirt, grabbing her bare buttocks and vagina, and juggling her breasts in front of a large crowd of onlookers. Rainey sued Taylor for sexual battery. Taylor did not take the litigation seriously. He evaded process, trolled Rainey on social media, dodged a settlement conference, and did not bother to show up for trial. His attorney asked for a continuance, but the judge denied the request, dismissing Taylor's proffered excuse as an elaborate ruse. The judge instructed the jurors that they could infer from Taylor's absence that his testimony would have been unfavorable to him. The jury returned a verdict for Rainey, awarding $1.13 million in compensatory damages and $6 million in punitive damages. Taylor moved for a new trial, challenging the denial of the continuance, the missing witness instructions, and the general weight of the evidence. Alternatively, he sought a remitter of damages. The judge denied the motions. Taylor appeals, reprising the arguments in his post-trial motion and adding a claim of evidentiary error. We affirm district judges have a wide discretion to manage their proceedings and resolve evidentiary issues, and the rulings here lie well within the discretion. Taylor has only himself to blame for the missing witness instructions, which was plainly justified. The verdict is well supported by the evidence, and we see no reason to disturb the jury's determinations of damages. The compensatory award is not in excessive under Illinois law, and the punitive damages awards survive constitutional scrutiny. Background: Jayceon Taylor, The Game, is an internationally known Grammy-nominated rap artist. For a brief time, he was also a minor reality show star. Marrying the Game ran on VH1 from 2012 to 2014 and chronicled the collapse of his engagement to his longtime girlfriend and mother of his children. When that show ended, his celebrity friends helped him create another VH1 reality show called She's Got Game, which featured a competition among women who might be a match for him. Priscilla Rainey, a realtor and entrepreneur from Florida, was a contestant on She's Got Game. In May 2015, while the show was filming in Chicago, Rainey and Taylor went on an off-camera date in an apparent violation of the competition rules. Taylor took Rainey to a suburban sports bar, and at that point during the evening, they were on an elevated stage in full view of the club's patrons. With the stage light shining on them, Taylor lifted Rainey's skirt and grabbed her bare buttocks and vagina. She tried to break away, but he did it again, this time lifting her rear end up and exposing her intimate parts to the gawking crowd. As Rainey struggled to push him away and lower her skirt, he grabbed her bare buttocks and vagina a third time. He also grabbed and juggled her breasts for the entertainment of the onlookers. 3 days later, Rainey confronted Taylor about the assault. The two were on the show's tour bus with other cast members and the film crew caught an entire exchange on camera. The video begins with another contestant announcing that Rainey had a secret date with Taylor. "That's cheating," as we said, and returned to the hotel visibly upset. Rainey responded that she told the crew about it, but no one else. Taylor then reminded her that he had instructed her not to mention it to anybody. And don't mention it means don't mention it. A heated argument ensued. Rainey repeatedly tried to tell him that she had a problem with what had happened and was bothered by it. Taylor angrily commanded her to keep quiet. "What you can do is be a woman and shut up. Like you can shut up now." She didn't shut up. Instead, she described the assault in graphic detail. After an explicative-laden exchange, Taylor ordered her to get off the bus before you get your ass strangled, and threatened to choke her ass up. In 2015, just before the show's debut, Rainey sued Taylor for sexual battery in federal court in Chicago. Taylor repeatedly evaded service and otherwise tried to obstruct and delay the litigation. 5 process servers across 3 states made multiple attempts to serve him with the complaint and summons. One process server alone made 41 unsuccessful attempts to serve Taylor at his California home. The district court judge authorized alternative service. In the meantime, the suits widely reported in the press and generated lots of chatter on social media. Taylor did not answer or otherwise plead, so on February 1st, 2016, the judge entered a default rule under Rule 55A of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. 10 days later, Florida attorney Andrew Williams appeared for Taylor and moved to quash service and set aside the default. The judge denied the motion to quash, but set aside the default and rescheduled a trial for November 14, 2016. A magistrate judge set a settlement conference for June 16 and ordered Rainey and Taylor to appear in person. On June 2nd, Taylor moved to reschedule the settlement conference, feigning concern for his safety based on Chicago gun violence problem. The past Memorial Day weekend, sadly, almost 70 people were shot in the city of Chicago. Due to high volume of violence and likelihood of reprisals due to such violence, the defendant has grave concerns for his safety and for those who assist him during his travels due to his celebrity status. The magistrate judge canceled the settlement conference for other reasons. It was never rescheduled. Taylor's dilatory conduct didn't stop there. In July, he moved to transfer the case to either the Central District of California or the Southern District of Florida. The judge denied the motion. In September, he moved to continue the trial. The judge denied that motion as well. In October, he began to move for a continuance, which the judge likewise denied. Meanwhile, Taylor railed against the lawsuit on social media, insulting Rainey in exceedingly vulgar terms. Jury selection commenced as scheduled on Monday, November 14th. Taylor did not show up. Williams, his attorney, assured the court that his client would be present the next day. When the trial resumed on Tuesday, Taylor was again absent. Williams asked for a continuance, saying that he had learned on Monday night that Taylor had an emergency dental procedure that day. He then produced a note from a California dental clinic and invited the judge to call to confirm his excuse. The judge made the call, and the endodontists explained that Taylor had basically more or less a root canal procedure, 2 of them on Monday. It was not clear from either the note or the call whether the dental problems were a long-standing one or a sudden onset. The endodontist explained that he was not Taylor's regular dentist and didn't know the history. Rather, Taylor had called his emergency line about 6 p.m. on Sunday evening. Rainey's counsel responded by submitting several screenshots of Taylor's Snapchat account. The photos depicted Taylor smoking something in a dark room under a pink neon light at 2:44 a.m. on Monday, November 14th. As the judge described the images, it looked as if Taylor was out partying in the middle of the night just a few hours before he had placed a call to an emergency dental hotline, and a few hours before he was due in court in Chicago. The judge denied the continuation motion, stating that Taylor's actions were indicative of somebody who had no intention of appearing at trial. On Wednesday, Taylor again did not appear. Williams renewed his continuance motion and offered copies of airline and hotel reservations as evidence of Taylor's intent to attend trial. The judge noted the flight times leaving Los Angeles on Monday at 11:25 p.m., arriving in Chicago at 5:12 a.m. on Tuesday, and leaving Chicago on Wednesday 7 p.m. didn't align with the expected week-long trial schedule, and the long hotel room listed on the reservation couldn't accommodate Taylor and 3 of his people traveling with him. The judge again denied the continuance motion, concluding that Taylor's dental emergency excuse was a ruse. Trial continued through Friday. Taylor never showed up. Among other evidence, Rainey offered her own testimony about the sexual assault and its aftermath, the video of the tour bus confrontation, and the documentary, and other evidence of damages, including testimony of a colleague who corroborated the emotional pain she suffered and the lingering effects of the assault on her personal and professional life. Williams put a brief defense for his missing client, including calling a witness who testified from California by video conference. He did not ask for the court's permission for Taylor to testify by video conference. When both sides rested on Friday, Williams renewed the continuance motion, citing the same grounds as before. He did not submit an affidavit from Taylor or a dental professional to substantiate his claim that the dental procedure was an emergency. The judge again denied the motion. In light of Taylor's absence, the judge gave the following jury instructions. Defendant Jayceon Taylor was mentioned at a trial but did not testify in person in court. You may, but are not required to, assume that Mr. Taylor's testimony would have been unfavorable to Mr. Taylor. The jury returned a verdict for Rainey, awarding $1.13 million in compensatory damages and $6 million in punitive damages. Taylor moved for a new trial on several grounds. He again attacked the denial of the continuance and the related missing witness instructions. He also argued that the jury's verdict was against the weight of the evidence. Alternatively, he sought a remitter of damages. The judge denied the motions and entered a judgment on the jury's verdict.